everyone, welcome back to a new video. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Sansha and I do fashion and styling videos here on YouTube. So I give lots of style tips, outfit inspiration, and I also show you how to get the most out of the pieces that you already own. And if that is the type of content that you like, please like and subscribe. I would love for you to join the styled family, and also go and give me a follow over on Instagram. I share even more styling reels there, more tips, more outfit inspiration that I don't show here on YouTube, so definitely go and give that a watch. Before I get into today's video, if you haven't watched the video that I posted last week, definitely go and give it a watch. I'll link it in the captions down below. But I always talk about showing you how to get the most out of the pieces that you already own. Now, versatility in a wardrobe to me is absolutely key. It prevents those days where you feel like you just don't have anything to wear. And the video I posted last week is all about taking the same outfit, styling it more casually, but also styling it a bit more dressy, just by changing the way you style it as well as your accessories and shoes. So it was a really fun one to watch and you guys seem to have loved it. So if you missed it, definitely go and give it a watch. Now onto today's video, and this is honestly a topic that I've wanted to cover for quite a while, and it is tips to keep in mind to avoid regret purchases. And I know all of us have been there. You've made purchases that you regret and bought pieces that you just end up not wearing. I still do it sometimes, but to be honest with you, I've really come into my own as far as my personal style goes within the last 6 months. And knowing my personal style now and what I love, what fits into my lifestyle, it's made me curate a wardrobe that I'm so happy with, that I can create a lot of different outfits with. And honestly, I might feel uninspired some days, but I don't ever feel like I don't have anything to wear. And I think getting to a point like that is a really good place, because that means that you love everything that you bought and that you actually wear it, and it's useful in your wardrobe and it makes you happy. So today's video is all about my tried and true tips to avoid regret purchases and to make sure that everything you buy has a purpose in your wardrobe, and that you're happy with it, and then that you end up actually wearing it. So the first tip might seem really obvious, but I know a lot of us get really overwhelmed when we shop, whether that is in store or online. But the first tip, and I think one of the most important, is to make sure that whatever you buy fits in with your lifestyle. So if you tend to wear a lot of casual wear, jeans, sneakers, blazers, that sort of thing, don't go out and just buy glitzy dresses or very dressy dresses, because you won't end up wearing them. And the same goes for if you have an office job, if you dress more corporate most of the time and then you just buy a lot of jeans with rips in it, and baggy t-shirts and sloppy sneakers, that sort of thing, because you won't have anything to wear day to day that really fits in with your lifestyle. So really think about what you do day to day, and I'm not talking about the occasional dinner party or going to the theater or family gathering where you want to dress up really nicely. I'm talking about what you do most of the time. So if you, as I said, have a corporate job, you have to dress really professionally, make sure that that is covered, because that's what you wear 5 days out of the week. So make sure that you have those key pieces to create that really great workwear wardrobe. The same goes for if you have a really casual lifestyle, if you maybe work from home or you do a lot of running around after the kids. Make sure that you have the comfortable shoes and not the stilettos, and really great staple basics, and maybe you want to just feel a bit elevated when you wear casual wear, and that's where great blazers come in. But that is probably one of my most followed tips when I shop, is that I make sure that whatever I buy, that it fits in with my lifestyle. The next tip is to make sure that whatever you buy fits in with the rest of your wardrobe in terms of color and style. And I'm not saying don't go out and experiment and buy a color that you don't already own, but make sure that if you buy a color that is a bit different for you, that you're able to wear it and style it with the rest of your wardrobe. It's the worst thing in the world to buy something and then not having anything to wear it with, and then you have to go out and buy more pieces so you can actually wear the first piece. I've been there, I've done that, but what I do when I shop, and you've probably heard me talk about it before or have heard other people talk about it, is I make sure that whatever I buy, that piece, that I can create at least 5 different outfits with it. And this really works. Just take the time, just in your head, try and envision 3 to 5 outfits that you can style it with, or when you purchase the item, bring it home and physically style it to see how it looks. And that way, if you already have 5 outfits you can style it with, chances are you'll come up with even more outfit options. So that is a good tip. And then I mentioned make sure that it fits in with the rest of your wardrobe in terms of style as well. And again, it's fine to experiment with maybe a different style, but if you literally never wear ruffles, chances are that you won't start now. So if the rest of your wardrobe is very simple and clean and classic, with maybe lots of tailoring, then chances are a very ruffly floral dress or skirt won't fit in with your wardrobe. So make sure that color and style of a specific piece you're looking at fits in with your style and the rest of your wardrobe. Sticking with this tip, an example that I have is last year I really experimented with color. Now, I've always loved neutrals. To me, it's just really easy to style a neutral wardrobe, to mix and match and everything. But I think when we just got out of COVID, everyone kind of went crazy with their wardrobe, and I really experimented a lot with color, and a lot of those pieces I actually love and will still wear in spring and summer. But for some reason I was really drawn to colorful handbags, and specifically a neon lime little mini handbag, and I absolutely loved it. But as much as I loved it, I just found it really challenging to style, and honestly my head just left me when I made that purchase, because I've gone on to sell it because I just didn't wear it. It wasn't practical in my wardrobe. The color wasn't right, the size was definitely not right. I couldn't even fit my phone in it. So I will insert a few pictures. So yes, make sure that the color and the style is something that's practical, that fits in with the rest of your wardrobe. The third tip is to not buy something only because it fits really well and you feel good in it. I've been guilty of this before. I know when shopping, it can be frustrating if you don't find pieces that fit really well, and it's really easy to just, if something fits really well, to say, okay, it fits well, I look great in it, let's get it, but without thinking about whether you're actually going to be able to style it with pieces you already own, or it actually fits into your wardrobe. So definitely be mindful of that. I purchased a pair of trousers from COS at the end of fall, and they just fit absolutely amazing, but they're a funny shape for a trouser. They're more of a balloon trouser, and I love a balloon style when it comes to jeans, because jeans are a bit more casual and edgy, so I find that easier to style. But when it comes to a more dressy formal trouser, the balloon shape to me is just really difficult to style, especially when it comes to shoes. So I just find those trousers really difficult to style, and I just don't end up wearing them a ton. So definitely make sure that you don't purchase something just because it fits really well. And on the flip side, if you love something and you envision yourself wearing it multiple times a week, and it will fit into your lifestyle, your existing wardrobe, and you see yourself wearing it at least a few years to come, then consider taking it to a tailor. I always say knowing a good tailor is really priceless, because it will just ensure that the pieces fit your body. They're really good at what they do, and they can make literally any piece fit you perfectly. So if something isn't right, if the sleeves are too long or the waist is gaping and it's slightly too big, just take it to a tailor, and I promise you those extra few dollars you pay will be well worth it, because you'll actually end up wearing your pieces. Tip number 4 is buying quality over quantity. And for the longest time I've heard everyone talk about this, and it does make sense on paper, but when I started actually doing it, I mean, it blew my mind the difference it could make. An example that I have is a basic white t-shirt. Now, I used to buy white t-shirts from Zara, from H&M, because I reckoned, you know what, I'll have to replace them. They get dirty really often, so I'm not going to spend a lot of money on them. I'm going to buy something really inexpensive because I'll have to replace it in a couple of months time. And there is nothing wrong with an H&M or a Zara white t-shirt. They do have some great quality ones in their kind of premium or limited edition sections, but I recently found a white t-shirt from Massimo Dutti. I've raved about this so much, so you're probably already tired of hearing about it, but it's just the most high quality, best fitting, best looking white t-shirt that I've come across. It's really thick cotton, it just fits really well, and I've washed it so many times it still looks brand new. And I just paid a bit extra for it because it is higher quality, but I've had it for 4 seasons now, and I'm actually not going to replace it this season. I'm actually just going to buy a backup because I wear it so much. I also saw some great white t-shirts at Cars. If you're interested, I will link those down below, but it doesn't only apply to t-shirts, it applies to sweaters as well. I find that a cashmere sweater or a lamb's wool sweater just lasts a lot longer. It keeps its shape a lot longer than something that is synthetic, and I've only recently started buying cashmere and real wool sweaters, but I can definitely attest to the fact that they just last a lot longer and their quality is just unmatched. So yes, you pay a little bit extra, but it just makes the pieces stand the test of time, and you'll be able to wear them for a lot longer. The same goes for accessories, whether that is shoes, belts, handbags. If possible, I always recommend going for leather. You pay a bit extra for leather, but you can find some great leather accessories and shoes at Massimo Dutti and even Zara and Mango. But it being leather, the quality is really amazing. It lasts and wears very well, and you'll be able to wear it a lot longer. So definitely keep that in mind, that quantity is not always better. Definitely go for quality. Tip number 5 is don't purchase something for your future self or your imaginary self. Now, I know I'm not the only one, so I'm not even embarrassed to say this, but an example I have is right now we're seeing a lot of holiday pieces. I think a lot of people are just trying to escape the cold weather that is lingering on, so people are going to tropical islands and on just very summery holidays, and when I see all of these beautiful pieces, these very summery dresses and beach cover-ups and swimwear, then I immediately want to add to basket and purchase, because in my head I'm like, I'll definitely wear this when we go on a tropical holiday or when we go to the beach. And honestly, I'm not really a beach person. I'd rather go to a European city or a different city for a city break, and I don't go to the beach that often, so buying really tropical pieces and endless amounts of beachwear is just not a great idea for me personally. So unless you have the holiday booked or the special event marked in your calendar, Don't buy something because you think this will be good to have if by some odd chance you end up going to a black tie gala dinner or a tropical holiday. So make sure that whatever you purchase, that it is for every day, or at least for a specific occasion or holiday or trip that you already have planned. It is a funny one, but I know all of us fall into that trap, and it is really good to just keep that in mind and remember. The last tip I have is to not buy anything that is super trendy. Now, this will definitely depend on your style and how you approach curating your wardrobe, but I definitely want to buy pieces that I'm able to wear for a lot of years to come, that have longevity in my wardrobe, and that doesn't look dated quite quickly. So I tend to go for classic, timeless pieces, something that if I buy it now, I'll be able to wear it in 2 years time, in 5 years time, in 10 years time. So I avoid going for super trendy pieces. That being said, you don't have to feel like you can't dip your toe into the trends, or like your wardrobe is going to be boring because you don't update it with a few trends. There are definitely ways to incorporate trends into your wardrobe. The first example I have is ballet shoes, ballet flats, and Mary Janes. And essentially it's a classic shoe. You know, we've seen ballet flats around for ages. I know Chanel flats are on my wish list and have been for the last 15 years probably, but they really never go out of style. This year specifically, they're in the spotlight and trending. So yes, they are a very trendy piece. We're seeing them everywhere, but if you purchase a pair of ballet flats this year, you'll be able to wear it for 5-10 years to come, because it is timeless and classic, and it won't feel or look dated when you style it down the road. The same goes for these long skirts we're seeing everywhere, whether it is a midi or a maxi length. I've worn my midi skirts, gosh, for the last 4 or 5 years, when I started really loving them. And this year again, they're just really trendy. They're in the spotlight. We're seeing them everywhere, on the runways, on the street, and in the shops. But that doesn't mean they're just super trendy and they'll be out of style next year. I'll still be wearing my long skirts next year and the year after that, because to me they are a classic piece. So yes, buying this way has really made me curate a wardrobe that I feel comfortable wearing year after year, season after season, that I don't feel is really dated. And then if you want to add really trendy pieces into your wardrobe, I always say accessories is a good place to start, because you can get some great designs, great unique accessories for a really affordable price. And if you end up not wearing the specific belt or necklace or head accessory or hair accessory next year, it won't be the end of the world, because you didn't spend a lot of money on it. So yes, that is my last tip. And honestly, I use all of these tips all of the time. I mentally run through everything when I decide to make a purchase. Most of the time I have kind of a wish list of pieces that I want to add to my wardrobe, so I've thought about it quite a lot. Or it's a piece that when I put outfits together, I feel like it's missing. So like every few days I would say, gosh, I wish I had a pair of straight cropped black trousers, which I wish I had. It is on my wish list, but that way I know that it's something that I feel like I need, and I'll get a lot of wear out of it, and I will be able to style it for every day with my existing wardrobe. So I hope you enjoyed all of these tips and found it helpful. I know, like, navigating all of the trends and all of the online stores and even physical stores can be daunting, and sometimes we just end up buying pieces that we really love but not being able to style them or wear them as often as we want to. So yes, let me know in the comments down below which of these tips you found most helpful, or if you maybe have another tip that I did not mention. I would love to hear that. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and always ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. I know someone said the other day that YouTube changed their preferences back to default and they kept on missing my videos. So if you ring that notification bell, it will just make sure that you don't miss my videos. But that is it for today, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.